Hey guys, Henry here. Now, like a lot of you, I absolutely despise liver. Some people love it. I mean, I think personally that offal is awful, but as a carnivore, we really need to try and get as much liver as we can so that we can get all the nutrients that meat offers us. So, today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be comparing mince without liver in it and mince with liver in it. Now, they say that we're supposed to be using a 4:1 ratio, meaning 400 grams of mince to 100 grams of liver. Because I really despise liver, I'm going to actually decrease that a bit. And it's going to be in the 80 something grams instead. Now, what I'm planning on doing is making sure that I've got 2 fry pans available. One is going to be cooking the non-liver mince, and the other one is going to be cooking the other liver mince. Now, what I also have is some liver that's wrapped up in plastic, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then blend that up, and then we're going to mix that in with the mince, and then proceed to cook that separately. This way there's no cross-contamination. So this way I can get a much better idea into this experiment and to see which one is in fact going to taste better than the other. Whether it's going to be a difference in taste or whether they're going to both taste the same. I'm hoping they'll both taste the same. Or there'll be such a minute flavor difference that I won't really notice it. Now, this here is in fact ox liver, so I believe it might be a little bit stronger than most. So I will try this out and see how we go. Alright, now first thing I want to do is make some meat patties. Now the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning on our little handy dandy little, oops, leave that on there, oops a daisy. So what we're going to do is turn that on, and we're going to make it zero out on with the weight of this bowl. Now let's have a weigh in of what it says. So I'm just going to turn that around so you can actually see what it says. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this straight onto here, and we'll have a look and see what it weighs up as. Okay, so that's 84 grams with the plastic on. So obviously with the plastic off, it'll change the weight a little bit. So that's okay. Now I'm going to be then weighing up this lot, which has also got that on there. And you'll see that's just on 400 grams. So plastic doesn't really weigh that much. So that's exactly 400 grams. That's perfect. Now, I also have this other one which is wrapped in alfoil. And I'm going to just put that on there. Now obviously alfoil will weigh more, but I'm thinking it's around about 250 grams without the alfoil. Now I had to defrost this one in my dehydrator, or the air fryer, today, and so it's looking a little bit older than I was hoping. So I'm just going to remove this one from here, place this one on here so I don't have the contamination of the liver on there. So move that in here. There we are. Now, let's see what that weighs up at. 284 grams. Okay, so that's alright. But I am planning on having this one. It's going to be the actual control, where I just cook this one up as is. Now I'm just going to go get myself a steel bowl and go from there. Okay, so for this particular part, I'm just going to be mixing this in here, and just having regular mince in here, and just turn these into meat patties. As I said, they are a little bit different. Now I'm not going to salt these because I want to get a true flavor for all of these. So I'll just mix that through. I'll just move it over here. You don't need to see me how to do it. You don't need to see how to do this. You probably already know how to make minced patties, but I'm going to just make up one minced patty, and then we'll just go from there. Now, obviously, part of this is a little bit cooked because the fact that I air fried it to try and defrost it this morning for this video. But there we go. I'm now going to place that on a plate, and then this will be my control. And I'll be putting butter in the pans that I use to make sure that it's done properly. Now I'll get the other mix. I'll turn the little blender on, and then I will blend up the liver Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this straight into the blender here, and this will hopefully mince it up into such a way that I'll be able to then blend it with my hands through the mince itself, so that, well, we're talking about the fresh mince, so that it's not going to be tasting bad, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to put this straight into the blender, and hopefully we can get this horrible tasting liver to taste a bit better. Just rinse my hands. Don't want to be touching my equipment with the liver all over my hands. Alrighty. Lock that in. Turn that on. Now, can you see that? Yes, you can. Alright. So I'm just going to turn this on and we'll have a look at what it's like. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Alright, now that's turned it into like a bit of a liver paste, which is exactly what I was after, because I really don't like the taste of it, and I'm hoping that I can mix this through really nicely. So I'm just going to go get myself another steel bowl so we can mix the other mince in with it. Okay, so this is the mince that I'm going to be doing. This has got 400 grams, and of course that's a little bit less than 100 grams, so that's okay. I thought I'd grab the one that actually measured up 100 grams, but obviously not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this out of here and then proceed to add that to the mince. Now I'm not blending the mince up, because that's not how mince is, but at least by doing this I can at least mix it through the mince, and hopefully I won't be able to taste the difference between them, because I was told that you can't taste the difference, but I know that with my taste buds I always tend to taste liver, because I really don't like it. So we'll have a look and see whether or not I can taste the liver through this mince. Once I finish scraping this out, I'll start mixing it through. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to start mixing this through so that it goes through the entire mince, and we'll see whether or not we can taste it once I have turned this into patties. And I'm going to use my hands to do this. There we go, and we'll see how we go. We want this to go all the way through, every part of it, so that it's evenly distributed all the way through. We don't want any of it left out. We don't want any of it being not added to the burgers or anything like that. We want this to be completely and thoroughly incorporated into the meat. I just realised I went off screen there for a second. So let's have a look here. This is looking like it's incorporating very nicely. And of course we need to make sure that it is thoroughly incorporated through every part of the entire burger. So let's have a look here. There's a little bit that was a bit chunky just there, I noticed. Maybe I can blend that up a little bit more. Or maybe that'll be okay. I'll see how it goes. That's better. It's looking much better now. Looking like it's mixing through very nicely. You can barely see any liver now. That's looking like it might be doing the job. And as they say, they reckon that you can't taste it, but I don't know if that's true or not. So we'll find out today. I can smell the liver in it, which is probably not a good sign. So we'll soon find out. Okay. Now I'm going to have one which has got a chunk of liver in it. And as you can actually see the liver in it. You can see that it's got little bits of liver going through it. So this is a good one. This has actually got some decent amount of liver in it. And this should be a good experiment or a good test as to whether or not this is going to work. Alright, so I'll put this one aside on a plate and I'll be right back. Now for this experiment to be accurate, I need to make sure I have the same amount of butter for each fry pan. So I'm going to place those in there in the center. I'll move this out of the way so it doesn't get melted. So Now this one here is the liver, the one infused with liver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that one in this one once it heats up, and then I'll place the other one, which is just straight mince, no salt or anything added, into this one. And that way we can get a much better accurate idea. Now what I'll also do is I will cover this pan so none of the splash goes into this particular fry pan. Now I don't know if you've ever seen one of these or not, but these are absolutely brilliant for fry pans. They can cover your fry pan. In most fry pan sizes it will cover, it's really good. So once I put the liver infused meat into here, I will then be able to make it work. So I'm just going to turn both of these on from the wall. There we are. Turn them both on at the same time, both on fry, and they're both at 200 degrees. I might turn that down to 160 just to be safe. Yep, they're both down to 160 now. I'll let that melt, and once it's finished melting, we'll be right back. Okay, now just turn them down to 120, and when I go do the taste test, I'm actually going to pour myself a glass of water so I can wash my palate after I've done this, so bear with me. Now I'm just going to be putting, this one here is the regular one. This is just a regular mince. Oops, that smells like it's burning. I better be careful. I better be quick to stop it burning. I don't want to burn the meat. Okay, there we go. I'll put that in here. And then immediately once I put this one in, which is the liver infused one, you can actually see the bits of liver in it, just here. I'm going to put that in there, and then put the lid straight over the top of that, to avoid any splashes. We'll be right back. Okay, well these are about ready, so I'm just going to turn these off. They've been smoking up quite a bit, they set my alarm off. Turn these off. Turn them both off at the wall. Now, I'm using this one to pick up the actual infused one. Oops, turn off the alarm. Okay, now this particular one is the liver infused one, and this one here is the plain mince one. I'll start off, I'll try out the plain mince one, and then I will move on to the liver infused one and see what that tastes like. So we'll give this a try. Okay, so I'm just going to eat this and see what it's like. This is the regular one, not the liver infused one. Yep. About what to be expected. Normal. So that's the control one. Drink this down and get rid of the taste out of my mouth so that I can get a better judge of this one. Okay, that's that done. Now, I'll wash my knife and fork so as to make sure that it doesn't have the regular mince flavour on it. Shouldn't make much difference, but I want to make this as accurate as possible. Now I'm just going to dive straight in and try out the one with the liver. I'll try a few bites of the liver because in case I have a section that doesn't have any liver in it. So I'll have a couple of goes and see what it's like. Mm. Mm. I literally can't taste the liver in that. I wonder if I've missed a bit. I might actually have the entire thing and decide whether I can actually taste the liver or not. Wow, that's really surprising. I honestly thought I would have tasted it because I really hate liver with a passion. I think I just had a slight hint of a liver taste. But if you're not looking for it, you probably wouldn't notice it. So I'm looking for it, so I'm looking for the slight liver taste. I mean, as I said, I think I tasted it. It wasn't even 100% certain on that. Now this is a bigger chunk. I'll try this out because this is bound to have some liver through it. I noticed that when I minced up the liver, that there was a little bit that still had a tiny chunk. I think in the previous one, I ate it and I might have had that little chunk get what I might have actually tasted, because it barely tasted. That second lot that I just had, that big chunk, didn't taste any liver at all there. And when they say you can't taste it, if you mince it up properly and you pop it into the, and you mix it through properly and so forth, you really can't taste it. I was quite surprised because my taste buds are quite sensitive, and I thought that I definitely don't taste it. But nope, that was really good. Tastes exactly like this one, which is the one that I first tried. I'll try a little bit over here, except for that little bit, that one little bit that I had, that might have had a bit more liver in the other part. There's no difference. There really isn't any difference. So I think I found the way in which I can eat liver. Sweet! Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like. Also, smash the bell icon and also subscribe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching and bye for now.